Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. Today we are going to discuss chapter 2, shloka number 60. First we start with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So first we will chant the shloka, then we will discuss. Yatatoya api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha. Yatatoya api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha. Indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Word by word meaning. Yatataha, while endeavoring, he certainly, api, in spite of, Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Purushasya, of a man, Vipaschitaha, full of discriminating knowledge, Indriyani, the senses, Pramathini, agitating, Haranti, throw, Prasabham, by force, Manaha, the mind. Translation. The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind, even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. So Krishna is giving us a very, very practical knowledge. That's why we call it as a manual. Bhagavad Gita is the manual of a human machine, human body. Manual tells you what should be done, what should not be done, how the machine gets overloaded if you do something, precautions, troubleshooting, everything is there, right? So Bhagavad Gita also gives us all this. And here, Krishna is recommending that, okay, you can try to control your mind or control your senses. Mind is one of them. And you may be a person of discrimination, meaning you know what is good, what is bad, what is material, what is spiritual. But then we get defeated by the senses. Senses are so strong, they agitate the mind. So simply, depending on the control of the mind, is not a good idea, because here we see the turbulence is caused by the senses, and then they direct the mind to go after a thing. So what is the formula? How do you get over it? And the only way it is to engage in devotional service. If you keep the mind busy in Krishna service, then there is no time for other activities. Or we have to start disliking, create a distaste for all this stuff which is binding us, which is attracting our mind and senses. So again, that requires a huge determination. So let's see what the acharyas have to say about this. The effort at the stage of sadhana is very great. Without power to turn back the senses completely. Pramathini means causing agitation. See, so we have to rise above sadhana. Sadhana is the beginning. We're all engaged in that. So in Nectar of Devotion, we see sadhana goes to raga nuga. Again, that's almost sadhana, Vaidik and raga nuga. And then you go from there to bhava. So many bhavas are there. And then from bhava, we go to prema. And that's the highest. Once we develop the Krishna prema, then everything is taken care of. Because we are not anymore agitated. The sense objects will remain there. Because we are not going into the forest and then living a secluded life and so on, or go to Himalayas. Nothing is safe now. Even if you want to go to forest, it's no more safe. There are dacoits and there are animals and there are so many things, So, best is to engage. Start taking baby steps. Start doing a little sadhana first. Make your sadhana strong. And then from there, develop the taste for the bhakti, seva. Once we develop the taste, we start, we develop the taste for so many things. People get addicted to, these days, the children, everybody is getting addicted to their iPhones and tablets and this and that, games, V and Z, and any number of them. They get addicted, right? They cannot live without that. The moment they enter some place where they can sit, their hand immediately goes into those gadgets. Even while they're walking. Recently, they moved one statue which was on the pavement, and the reason for moving it was that people while walking, they're texting, and some few of them got hit, because when you're texting, you're absorbed, and you don't see what is there in front of you. So instead of asking the people to stop texting, of course, they know that people won't listen. So they moved it so that it doesn't cause any injury. So we are adjusting ourselves to fulfill those material desires. Like this selfie business has started now. So now there are companies which are coming out with more and more gadgets how to take the selfie. Long stick with a button here and wireless and this and that. Just tell it and it does. So many things. So there's no end. Because it's pramathini. There are many learned sages, philosophers, and transcendentalists who try to conquer the senses, but in spite of their endeavors, even the greatest of them sometimes fall victim to material sense enjoyment due to the agitated mind. Even Vishwamitra, a great sage and perfect yogi, was misled by Menaka into sex enjoyment Although the yogi was endeavoring for sense and control with severe types of penance and yoga practice. So this is one very nice example. The yogi, sage, just by the sound of the ankle bell, his tapasya was broken. And of course, sound and the smell and the whole atmosphere. And he couldn't control and fell down from his position. So, artificially trying to control, number one, or okay, even if you're trying to seriously control, but not engaging them senses in Krishna's service, then this is bound to happen. Especially in the Kali Yuga, the senses are so strong, they are made even stronger because Maya Devi has become stronger. She wants to be defeated, but then there are hardly anybody available for defeating her. Very few. And those few are also, although practicing everything nicely, they invite Maya Devi by fighting among themselves. The devotees fight among themselves. My position, my this, my that. Why did you take away my person, my devotee? We have this sense of control, ownership. So Prabhupada tells us always that ownership is the most dangerous thing. Kukkudu Mani, he read about Vishwamitra, and he thought, okay, this is not a good place to meditate, because somebody may come, some apsara may come. So he went underwater, and he took a samadhi underwater, and he was meditating there. Sadhus can do that, there's no problem. They don't need a scuba diving equipment or something. And then after so many years, I think something like 12 years or something, he just opened his eyes, just for a change. And he saw two fishes, male fish and the female fish, copulating. And immediately the desire of sex came in his mind. And he came out of water, so you can imagine. And we just chanting 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds, doing some little service, we think that now we are in control. And we start telling people, hey, be in control like me. You should be laughing. What control are we talking? We are still not the men of discrimination. We still have so many doubts in our mind about this. For example, about absolute nature of Krishna. About the truth that Krishna is in control always. We always have doubts. Is Krishna in control? Then why did not this happen? And then somebody put something in your mind also. So we are still not reached, but okay, I always say we are work in progress. Somebody is in the first floor, somebody is on the second floor, somebody is not even started, struggling. So like that. A practical example is given by Sri Yamunacharya, a great saint and devotee, who says, Yada avadi mamacheta Krishna padaravinde navanarasa dhamanya udyatam rantum asit tada avadi bata nari sangame smaryamane bhavati mukha vikraha vikaraha sustu nishtivanam cha. Since my mind has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and I have been enjoying an ever transcendental humor, whenever I think of sex life with a woman, my face at once turns from it and I spit at the thought. This is Krishna consciousness. That means Yamunacharya also was indulging or having this thought, this desire, this sex desire, but then he developed Krishna consciousness to the extent that now he says, when that thought comes to me, my face becomes vikara, it gets twisted, like, and then I spit at my thought. This is called perfect control. A passing thought may come, but then you should be able to curb it immediately before it blooms. And Arjuna, in the 3rd chapter, we are going to discuss, he asks Krishna, why this happens? Why do we commit sins? Knowingly or unknowingly, mostly sometimes unknowingly. And then Krishna says, it is lust, Arjuna. Lust is the main cause. Lust means desire for something material. Krishna consciousness is such a transcendentally nice thing that automatically material enjoyment becomes distasteful. It is as if a hungry man had satisfied his hunger by sufficient quality of nutritious eatables. Maharaja Ambarish also conquered a great yogi, Durvasa Muni, simply because his mind was engaged in Krishna consciousness. Sa vai manaha Krishna padaravindayor vacham sivaikunt gunanuvarnane. So these are the classic examples, that we engage. Of course, all of us know, I hope, the story of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. If you are in Krishna consciousness for few years, you definitely have to know this. So I want to repeat that. You can ask a question if you don't know about it. I'll take the next comment. Since it is not possible without controlling the senses to be one in steady wisdom, it is strongly recommended that in the practice of one's spiritual austerities, one apply themselves diligently in this regard. The senses are so turbulent that they can forcibly take the mind of even a person of discrimination, or the senses are very agitating. Same thing spoken by a different acharya, and that's why you see a little difference in the language. See, when we say as it is, it doesn't mean word by word. It means the same purport, the same understanding. You can always use some different examples, or we can see from a different perspective, but the ultimate result should be same. Your conclusion should not be different than the previous acharyas. Even men of wisdom who lack spiritual experience and resort to using the mind as their only medium of understanding are soon overpowered by the senses. What then is the impediment to those who take pride in the bodily conception? Lord Krishna use of the word pramathini, meaning the turbulent, indicates one who is assailed by agitation. So this is talking about people who are atheists, who are, karmis, and who are even Advaitavadi, impersonalists. They only use their mind, because there is no service. Everything is mental, right? Of course, karma people, they are doing not mental, they are doing activity also, but then since it is not connected with Krishna, it is no use, right? And then for them, it's a big impediment to go back to Krishna, because they are not ready to surrender, they are not ready to serve, and because they have been told that you are yourself Krishna, or you can become Krishna, and like so much jugglery is there available in the market. So the acharyas are saying that the only medium of understanding is by surrendering, by getting connected to the sampradaya so that you get all the good things from all the saints in the sampradaya. Like when I'm serving my Guru Maharaj, I'm also getting the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Saraswati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and the whole parampara, Madhvacharya, Ishwara Puri, Madhavendra Puri, the great, great acharyas. Because it is coming as it is, it's being passed down from generation to the next. And then we are practically doing that thing. So that's the most important, Thus, the control over the senses is root cause of stabilizing the mind. Now, Lord Krishna reveals the flaws in not possessing a stable mind. One situated in spiritual intelligence with discrimination and powers of observation trying their level best to keep the mind from gravitating toward the senses and withdrawing their mind repeatedly away from objects of the senses and directing it internally within is a form of meditation. But the senses are so strong that they forcibly invade the mind, disrupt this meditation, and forcibly overpower the mind and indulge it in contemplating sense gratification and bodily attachment. So this is for the people who follow or who want to follow dhyana yoga. Of course, they're not yoga necessarily, dhyana, meditation. So that is one way of stabilizing your mind, meditation. But if the meditation is not on Narayana, form of Krishna, then all these things will happen, All these things what we read just now. So you have to develop spiritual intelligence. This is the key. 3 out of 4 acharyas, or 3 out of 5, 6 acharyas that I'm reading the commentaries from, everybody says that. Everybody says the same thing. That develop spiritual intelligence. Your material intelligence is okay for your earning, for making some Lakshmi so that you can develop your spiritual intelligence. But that's not a fundamental requirement. That's just, required to keep the body and soul together. So the senses, they are so powerful. And Maya Devi is so expert in agitating them that unless we are really strong in our devotion, really strong in our conviction, we'll always fall prey to that. How is it possible that the senses can carry away one's mind while they are intently striving? It is because the senses are so restless and turbulent that they're totally disregarding all one's efforts in discrimination. Besieging the mind, they direct it towards sensual objects that will gratify these self-some senses by engaging the mind in sense contemplation. So the Acharya is saying, first asking a question. How does it happen, Why does the mind gets carried away? The senses are so restless and turbulent that although you may be saying to yourself, no, I want to become a devotee, I want to become a devotee, I want to surrender to Krishna, but then not take proper steps, then this will happen always. I am reminded of, one small story. There was a person who was caught stealing something, from a shop, some nice looking doll or something, very beautiful doll. So this person was sort of a, transcendentalist in a sense that he used to practice dhyana, etc., etc. So when he went to the judge, They produced him before the judge, and then judge asked, "Why did you do this?" So he says, "Sir, you have to give me 2 minutes. I will explain." And he says, he said, I was walking on the road, and I know this shop has this window, glass window, and then inside, and I was just having a little time. So I was just looking inside the shop through that window, and suddenly my eyes caught this beautiful doll. And immediately my other mind, because these people have two minds, it started saying that, hey, don't look at that, that's a sense of, the object of sense, material object, so keep your senses away. So I said, okay, I should not do that. But then, other mind said, okay, don't do it, but at least have a look at it, So he said, I said, okay, there's no harm in having a look. It's such a beautiful thing. So he went inside the shop. I said, I went inside the shop, and I went close to this. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. He was looking even more beautiful from there, inside. And then my mind said, hey, don't get attached, don't get attracted to this. But other mind said, okay, let me at least touch it, let's see, having come so close, there's no harm in touching. So he said, I touched it, and my, the touch was so soft, so silky, so nice, I couldn't resist. I just took it in my hand to have a look at it and get the feel of it. And then the discriminating mind said, hey, keep it back. It doesn't belong to you. You have no money. Just keep it back. And he says, suddenly I felt the aroma coming out of that, I don't know what they have put on that. It was so sensuous. And he says, I don't know what happened. Suddenly my hand grabbed that more strongly, and it went into my pocket. I don't know how it went. At that time, all the discrimination, everything had gone for a toss. And he said, in that process, the camera caught me, maybe, I don't know, and I'm here. So this is what happens, when you are not engaging the mind. If he had thought of, okay, forget about that doll, let me choose something nice for Krishna today from this shop, and I will do some hard work and get somehow that will be my gift to Krishna. Things would have been totally different, right? So this is how we have to look at things. This is how we have to engage ourselves in this wonderful process of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. So I hope you like this. You are welcome to join our live classes. You can have questions. Even now, when you are seeing this, maybe, you can shoot a question. If you don't agree or you want to add something, you're most welcome. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.